Hello everyone and welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be breaking down how I caught Nasdaq shorts for 3.5 hour this past Wednesday. As always with my approach, the first thing I'm going to be doing is analyzing the daily chart to identify my buys. As you can see here, we have the daily chart on Nasdaq where we can see that Monday traded lower and closed bearish, followed by Tuesday expanding through CPI to close above Monday's opening price and engage this external high on the weekly chart, which it closed through with strength. What this tells me is that I am looking to see a continuation higher on Wednesday. Therefore, I am one-sided in my expectation. I am expecting Monday's low and Tuesday's low to stay protected and for the market to draw higher. We can see Asia makes the low, and then we expand through London and headed into New York. The market drives higher, and then we get that SMT, which I will be talking about briefly in the next slide, and that change in state of delivery on the 15-minute chart. Now, if I am to be framing this day as one-sided bullish, and we have the overnight move in the manner that it did, then I require for New York to be in agreement with the underlying trend and follow Asia's low with an expansion into the upside. The fact that New York enters the marketplace, makes a high, and then starts to break the structure into the downside is the first signal that I'm taking that this may not be a bullish framework and that in fact my bias is invalidated, therefore putting me onto the short side to draw towards that daily opening price. Following into Wednesday, we can see the 15-minute chart right here, headed into 9:30 open. Asia makes the low, and then we start to drift higher into London before we eventually draw higher and then get this 15-minute change in state of delivery on the Nasdaq to the downside. Now, as a general rule of thumb, if I'm looking to be trading bullish only, I will be ignoring sell setups. But as we can see here, there is a potential for something that I like to call an invalidation setup. What that means is that I am expecting, due to how the 9:30 open has been trading and for the signature that is forming above the highs, for this to actually be a bearish day and for my bias to be invalidated. As you can see right here, the market drives higher, we form that SMT, and then we get aggressive displacement to the downside. This is where my invalidation occurs, and I can comfortably say that I do not believe that this is a bullish framework anymore, meaning that my long bias that I had set from the daily chart is no longer in play, and now I'm left with two options, either to frame the invalidation back towards the daily open and the intraday low, or to let this day go entirely. Right here on the 5-minute chart, we get a better picture of what it is that I'm looking at. As you can see, the market drives higher overnight, and then right around 9:30, we see this move up, followed by Nasdaq being relatively weak, whereas ES is leading in strength and forms an SMT on the high. And right after that SMT is formed, the market stalls a little bit, but eventually starts to break down, providing me with that 15-minute change in the state of delivery that I had marked out prior. And for this trade idea, the draw will be the daily open, and as an extreme or the ultimate, so to say, expectation for the day, the intraday low. Due to the fact that we have traded higher significantly from the daily open, the large wick does not support a significant expansion to the downside. Therefore, I am conservative in my targets and looking for the daily open first and foremost, as I believe the market can considerably stall there or maybe reverse entirely and take me out. Now, a question I was asked a lot was why I did not choose to look for entries on the 5-minute time frame on this specific day. The reasoning for that is that based on how these ranges are moving and this massive move towards the downside, my expectation was that if the 5-minute chart were to retrace here significantly and then provide that continuation signature lower for my entry on a limit would not offer me 2R towards the daily open, which is the minimum expectation that I'm setting myself. And if the close of this candle to the downside was much deeper, then I would not have gotten a favorable risk reward, maybe 1-to-1 or less. Therefore, I am forced essentially to frame this lower so that I can get a decent risk reward ratio towards my expected draw, and then I can comfortably hold into the intraday low. Now, on the 3-minute chart, we can see how this idea sort of played out. 8:30 comes in, nothing much happens. Therefore, I am delaying the expectation for a reversal into 9:30. Right here at 9:30, we see the market drive higher. We see that SMT form, ES on the same chart, right here, trading well above the highs. But then Nasdaq with that expansive leg lower, ES follows through and we get that first continuation signature right here on the 3-minute chart, followed by a very, very clean swing formation with this candle printing higher, making the swing and then closing through. Now on this, if I were to take a limit entry right here towards the daily open, I am offered well above 2R and I can hold for the intraday low for partials. Back to the 5-minute chart, we can see that exact same trade idea. The market trades higher. We have that intraday low marked out. Right here, my entry is within that 3-minute continuation signature that I had marked out prior. We break down. Right around here is that daily opening level. We can see the market is stalling, very, very lethargic. And then once again, we do see that drive lower into my objective. As you can see, the 5-minute signature right there would not have provided a valid closure. Very, very deep in the range. This would not have been a trade for me. And the same idea is applied right here with that 5-minute retracement. I never get the confirmation and then the market expands towards my draw, meaning that if I would not have framed lower, I would have missed the setup entirely. And last but not least, I've decided to attach a broker statement. For those of you who are not yet familiar with what I do, my name is Kiko Undercover. I work as an educator within the lens and I've been trading for about 2 years now. As you can see, we not only talk the talk, but we also walk the walk. The risk on this setup was about $1,000 and the reward was about 3,500 before commissions. I hope you all enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it, and there will be more to come, so I look forward to that and see you all soon. Have a good day. Goodbye.